Okay, so now let's talk about greatest possible error. Okay, so with any measurement device, right, the precision is only going to be up to whatever the device is able to or built to measure to, okay? And there's always going to be some uncertainties. There's always going to be a little bit of error. So what is the greatest possible error? Well, it's defined as half of the precision of the total measurement, okay? So whatever the measurement is precise, right? However precise the measurement is that you're given, okay? Or that you take if you're measuring it yourself. It's going to be precise up to a certain decimal, right? Up to a certain place value. Well, the greatest possible error that you could be off is if you take the precision, right? How precise your measurement is, right? And then take half of that. That will measure the greatest possible error that you could be off by, plus or minus. Less than that, by less or by more, okay? Because again, we're talking about your precision, okay? Place value, decimal place value, okay? So let's do an example of what we mean, okay? So if I look at this measurement, let's say you've got a beam and it's measured at 14.6 pounds, okay? And so this scale, this measurement device, measures with a precision of 1/10 of a pound, right? So that's how precise it is. It's precise to a 1/10 of a pound. So that means that how far could we be off, right? So it's measuring to a 1/6 of a pound or a 1/10 of a pound, right? But it still could be off, right? By how much? Well, we take the precision, which is, it's measured to a 1/10 of a pound. It's precise to a 1/10 of a pound. So we take 1/10 of a pound, we divide it by 2, and so we say that, oh, well, then that means we could be off, so this measurement could be off by as much as 0.05 pounds. Either 0.05 pounds higher or 0.05 pounds lower, okay? So we're going to put a plus minus here. So we would say that our greatest possible error is going to be plus or minus 0.05 pounds, right? Because we could be off as much as 14.65 pounds or 14.55 pounds. Because and the reason why we say that is because we're saying that, hey, if it was measuring any more than this, then our scale would be accurate enough to catch that. And so if it was actually set 14.68, let's say, then our scale would measure 14.7. Okay, or if we're off by below that amount, let's say the actual weight was 14.54, then our scale would be actually measuring 14.5 then, right? Because of how precise our measurement is, or our scale is. So again, well, what do we do to get the greatest or maximum possible error? Well, we take the precision, right? So this is precise to a 1/10 of a pound. We take that precision, divide by 2, and that is our greatest possible error. How much we could possibly be off by, okay? Now, what about this one? We have a tachometer, and it's measuring 4,700 RPMs. Okay, so how precise is this? Well, it's only precise to the nearest 100 RPMs. So how do we find the greatest possible error? Well, again, we take the precision, which is 100 RPMs, so it's accurate, or it's precise to the nearest 100 RPMs, and we divide by 2, and so that means we could be off by as much as plus or minus 50 RPMs. Okay? Now, let's say we have a ruler. Now, this one I'm going to explain. So let's say you have a measurement, okay, and you have a ruler. And let's say you're measuring this length. And so the ruler is only accurate to an eighth of an inch, right? So it has eighths on it. And that's the best you could do. So you're eyeballing this measurement. So keep in mind that if the measurement is actually a little bit less than 2 1/8, or if it's a little bit longer than 2 1/8 on the ruler, you're going to measure it as 2 1/8. So we would say that the ruler is precise, so this measurement is precise to 1/8 of an inch. That's the precision. Okay? So that means if our precision is 1/8 of an inch, then that means if I go up to halfway longer, right? So if I have a ruler, let's say a blow up of a ruler, and so here's 1/8, here's 2 1/8 here, and here's 2 1/4, or 2/8, right? So if I measure up to here, right in the middle, or if I measure up to here, halfway to the other one. So let's say we have this, where this is 2, right? So here's 2 inches, here's 2 1/8 inches, and here's 2 1/4 inches. Well, if I measure up to anything up to here, or anything below up to here, halfway here, which basically what? Is 1/16. 1/16. Right? Because 1/16 is halfway between 1/8, right? So going from here to here is 1/8. Going from here to here is 1/8. So I know that any line that I measure that's going to be anywhere in here, I'm going to round to 2 1/8 because of the precision of my ruler. So that means that I could be off by as much as 1/16 of an inch in either direction. Okay, so that's my greatest possible error, is 1/16. Now how do I do that? The same way I do it. So I know my ruler is accurate to 1/8 of an inch. So if I take 1/8 of an inch and divide by 2, right? So I'm going to divide this by 2. Well, that's the same as multiplying by a half, right? So here's back to previous videos, right? So 1/8 of an inch times a half gives me 1/16 of an inch, which is exactly what I showed you here. So that's it. That's how you find the greatest possible error. And we always add to our measurement this plus or minus. So when we're giving a measurement, for example, we would say this measurement is 14.6 pounds plus or minus 0.05 pounds. And the plus or minus is telling us how much we could be off by, our greatest possible error. Have a great day.